Alright, what's up? This time I got me a scary video that I really don't want to watch alone, so I got my cover on me. This one right here is going to freak me out more than every single one of them. So let's get this popping.
Number 1. This story is about my dad's ex-girlfriend. My dad has terrible luck with women. He's like a crazy magnet. Every woman he's ever dated have been abusive both mentally and physically.
Nope.
This list includes my mother. But this story is about his last girlfriend, Mary.
Oh no, that's scary.
She has gone from stalking not only him but me, my husband, and our daughter too. They met at a Christmas party and hit it off.
Ooh, I don't like looking at that face.
He had just gotten out of another bad relationship with a different woman that he'd been on and off with for 3 years. She was a classic narcissistic type. Well, Mary seemed different. She claimed she was also just out of an abusive relationship. They went out for a few months, but she never let Dad over to her place. He didn't find it all that weird until he received a call from a man who said Mary was his wife and wanted to know how my dad knew her. At first, Dad thought the guy was her ex, still trying to control her, but things started to add up. He finally confronted Mary, and she gave him some sob story about how her ex was refusing to sign the papers, but that they were separated. Dad did a bit of digging, and even talked to Mary's parents at one point. He found out that not only was Mary definitely still married, but she wasn't even separated from her husband.
Oh, that's nasty.
As far as everybody in her life knew, she was happily married, and my dad was just a friend. Needless to say, he broke up with her. She lost it. She started to show up at his work, and calling in the middle of the night, and texting him 50 times a day.
Heck
Good
no.
stuff. My dad moved states twice, and changed his number several times to try and get away from her, but she always found him. Love letters would arrive in the mail, or she would call and say she was coming to see him. Then she found my phone number. Probably sometime after my dad moved in with me, she started texting me almost as much as him.
Heck no.
Once I married my husband and had my daughter, she really went all out, sending me presents for her new granddaughter, always wanting updates and things like that. I never replied, and either sent back unopened packages or donated items she sent to shops. Everything finally came to a head when she arrived on my dad's doorstep while he was at work with a casserole for him. She gave it to his roommate and told him it was because she noticed my dad was losing weight. He told his roommate to throw it away. He didn't want to risk poison since he had just applied for a restraining order.
Forget
that same night, she showed up at my apartment while my husband worked the overnight shift. It was after 1 a.m. when she started knocking on my door.
Oh shoot.
I was glad that I had sent my toddler to my aunt and uncle's for the night when I saw it was her. She left banana bread on my doorstep that we threw out as soon as my husband got home. The next night, I again left my toddler with my aunt and uncle in case she came back. She did. I started getting texts from her as she pounded on my door. She wanted to see her grandbaby and have some girl time with me. They slowly developed into demands for me to open the door. I called the cops.
Nah, you done fucked up, man. The woman who telling the story or whatever, she done fucked up. Do not open that door. Do not let that bitch in. Alright? Talking about want to see your grandbaby. Nah, girl. Don't do it. Don't do it. Y'all done fucked up.
I was on the phone with the dispatch. My neighbour came out, ready to take her on. He told her cops were on the way, since his wife was already calling them. She disappeared pretty quickly into the park across the street.
Yeah.
The cops didn't catch her, but my dad's restraining order did get granted. We have since moved across the state, but she still texts me from time to time,
Shoot the bitch.
wanting to know how my dad is or what my daughter is up to. I never answer, but I do save all of her texts, just in case. I have to get my own restraining order as well.
You should have did that right now.
So my mum left a picture when I was 3 years old. She literally packed up one day and just walked out. So for a long time, it was just me and my dad. I'm a male, and at the time my dad met Tammy. I was 13 at the time. I was chubby, and at the time small for my age. I still had my baby fat. I was and still am a nerd. So was my dad, and we shared a love of Star Wars, comic books, and science fiction. My dad decided he needed to meet someone. He was lonely, and I thought it would be nice to have a mother figure. This was before online dating, and there were still personals in the paper. My dad filled out an ad, and it wasn't long before he met Tammy. I remember him telling me about her and how happy he looked. They dated for about a month before my dad figured it was getting serious, and he wanted to introduce me to her. So my dad decided to take us out for dinner and then a movie. I remember my grandma helping me get dressed, and I was super nervous to meet her. She seemed nice at first,
That's how they get you.
even at that age, I could sense something was off.
Yeah.
We went to Sizzler's for dinner, and my dad told me to order whatever I liked. He then excused himself to the bathroom. I smiled at Tammy and went to say something, and she cussed me off, telling me my dad's been letting me eat whatever I wanted and that I'm a fat little piggy. She demonstrated this by actually fucking making pig noises. I was crushed. I mean, honestly, I wasn't very heavy, maybe a little chubby, but not obese like some children are today. My dad actually didn't let me eat whatever I wanted. But anyways, back to the story. She ignored me until my dad came back and then played nice. I, for my dad's sake, faked being nice to her. I wanted to tell my dad what she said.
Do it.
I didn't want to disappoint him or upset him. My dad was and still is my best friend. Anyway, so I hoped and prayed my dad would realise what a bitch she was and come to his senses. But sadly, no, he didn't. They dated steadily, and when I was 15, Tammy moved in.
Hold up.
Now that's some...
Man, come on now, people, man. Parents, listen to your kids for once. And kids, when it's something bad, like when you know something's up with a certain person, tell your parents about it, man. Don't be keeping it to yourself. That's how shit gets started, man. God, dog. Come on now, people. Y'all fucking up.
I finally lost my baby fat and grew a good foot or two. My dad's 6'3", so it wasn't surprising that I shot up to almost 6 feet by age 15. Puberty kicked in, and my voice was doing that weird crackling thing. I made it a point to avoid Tammy. I went to school, came home and stayed in my room, did homework, and waited for my dad to get home. However, she started in on me most days as soon as I walked in. She'd always find something. I was a loser, I was too stupid, etc.
Beat that bitch ass.
Things. The few times I told my dad, he just insisted we all needed to adjust. So, I just decided I could put up with her for 3 more years for my dad's sake, and then I was out of there. The next 3 years sucked. Her insults got meaner. She would also do things like put glass, pieces of paper and sand in my food, and just my plate. I started refusing to eat her food. I was terrified she'd poison me. It was around this time my dad and her got married. Graduation came. I was so relieved I was set to enlist in the army. I planned on being basic by July, but of course, she had tried to ruin that. My recruiter got a call from someone saying I smoked pot and did drugs. Thankfully, I passed my drugs test, but I know it was her. One night, before I left for boot camp, my dad had a huge party for me. She had tried to cancel it earlier, claiming she was sick, but by that point, my dad had already invited most of my family and friends and wasn't going to cancel. She pouted the entire time. I started to see that my dad was kind of starting to see past that facade. Let's skip a few more years, and I'll get leave. I've been deployed twice now, and I hadn't seen my dad in 22 months, so I was dying to see him. He had told me in previous conversations that their marriage was pretty much over. She was not only controlling, but verbally abusive, but a few weeks prior, she'd knocked my dad out with a cast iron skillet. He had given her an ultimatum of a month to get out, or he was throwing her shit out. The night I got in was late. My dad picked me up and we came home. She was supposedly gone. She had started moving her crap into her sister's and was pretty much staying most nights there. So Dad and I eat. We get to bed. Around 1, I feel my bed move. I'm exhausted and figure it's my dad's dog Caesar, a German Shepherd. That's when I feel hands go around my neck and my soldier instincts kick in. I flip the intruder over and subdue them. My dad runs in and flips the light on. He's got his gun out. Surprise, surprise, it's my step monster.
Heck no.
Dad calls the police, files a restraining order, and serves her with divorce papers. A lot more shit happens, such as her destroying my dad's new Mercedes, but I won't bore you with details. What matters is they are now divorced, and I'll never have to see that bitch again. So Tammy, let's not meet again.
I would have shot that bitch. I'll tell y'all the truth, I would have shot her. Point blank. No questions. I wouldn't care about what I seen. I wouldn't care about anything. I would just shot her. Just straight right there, man. I wouldn't care. This is for real. I wouldn't care. I would have shot her. Something, I don't know. I would have shot her. Point blank. She gonna put her hands on me? Oh, no. I don't care if she a girl. I don't care if she was my grandmama, mama. I don't care. You gonna put your hands on my neck while I'm sleeping? Oh, no. You can just kiss your soul goodbye. Because I would have shot. Oh, man. I would have pulled that trigger. I wouldn't care. But let's see what the next video got.